The following report captures the diversity of Vorarlberg. The topics building cultures, landscape, and society are illustrated during a car journey on the main road from Bludenz to Bregenz.
The term building culture refers not only to architecture. It is about the whole built word, including traffic structures, private buildings, public spaces, and art in architecture. More than that, building culture is a huge phenomenon, a process that has always existed and that occurs all over the world in all societies. It includes all elements of the natural or built environment that are altered by any human activity. Taking a closer look at the concept of genius loci, it becomes clear that the concept has a major influence on people as well as the other way around. The human influences the environment, and the environment influences the human. Norbert Schulz defined genius loci in an architectural context and highlights the individual significance of each place. He talks about the context or the specific environment in which we live and about the constant mutual relationship we have with places. He furthermore explained that the rather abstract term space cannot be used as a synonym for place, which is a more specific term that is directly related to here. Space and character are mutually dependent aspects of the same whole, in other words, place. A first awareness of building culture in Vorarlberg emerged during the Baukultur movement in the early 1980s. This was a significant development that shaped the identity in Vorarlberg. The best way to discover the region is to drive through it, describes Arthur Schwarz in his essay Heimat Vorarlberg. This text was published in the book Vorarlberger Jungbürgerbuch, which deals with politics, community, and the meaning of Heimat. During the 1.5 hour drive, we look at the Baukultur in Vorarlberg and increase our awareness in this respect.
Due to its geographical location, Vorarlberg was always strongly connected to Germany and Switzerland. The industrialization and development of the textile industry brought work and wealth to the country. The connection to the rest of Austria was purely political until the technical connection through the Arlberg. Along with this progress, Vorarlberg developed into an ideal industrial location and thus developed its own identity. Awareness of the architectural identity of Vorarlberg was pushed forward in the early 1980s with the Baukultur movement. For the first time, architecture was perceived as an issue affecting the whole society. Vorarlberg has built up its own identity, and the result is a very diverse region. Today, Vorarlberg resembles a rag. There is agriculture, a lot of commercial areas and industry, settlements, and of course the cities: Bludenz, Feldkirch, Hohenems, Dornbirn, and Bregenz. Moving through the country, the scenery changes. The different themes rush past, and the diversity becomes even more evident while driving.
Our trip starts in the south of the country. Prestigious mountain ranges border the deep valleys. Towards the north, the mountains became flatter and turned into rolling hills. Starting from the many reservoirs in the country, high voltage lines accompany us on our journey through the country. In terms of cultural history, Vorarlberg is characterized by its early industrialization. A dense textile industry developed in the Rhine Valley along the border to Switzerland during the 19th century. The total population is spread over about 100 municipalities. Nevertheless, the country has been able to maintain a rural settlement structure. Today, Vorarlberg's economy is no longer based on agriculture. The textile industry was also exposed to an unstoppable decline in the post-war period of the Second World War. The Rhine Valley has grown together into an agglomeration area. High-quality new production sectors have settled here, so that Vorarlberg is now one of the most prosperous regions in Austria. The conscious use of land has not been forced enough in recent decades, resulting in urban sprawl in the valleys of Vorarlberg. The success story of the single-family house began in the post-war years and continues until today. According to the motto "Schaffe, schaffe, Hüsli baue," the typical Vorarlberger strives for a home of one's own. Rising land prices and the immense construction cost will make this more difficult in the future. The identity of the cultural landscape got largely lost due to the progressive overbuilding. Agricultural zones are being increasingly displaced. The product of building culture is the built world as a whole. In places where building culture is most pronounced, we see the built environment as worth living in. These are the places where we feel at home.